بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔
شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو رحمان و رحیم ہے۔
اقرأ بسم ربک الذی خلق۔
پڑھو اے نبی اپنے رب کے نام کے ساتھ جس نے پیدا کیا۔
خلق الانسان من علق۔
جمے ہوئے خون کے ایک لوتھڑے سے انسان کی تخلیق کی۔
اقرأ وربک الاکرم۔
پڑھو اور تمہارا رب بڑا کریم ہے۔
الذی علم بالقلم۔
جس نے قلم کے ذریعے سے علم سکھایا۔
علم الانسان ما لم يعلم۔
انسان کو وہ علم دیا جسے وہ نہ جانتا تھا۔
Assalamu alaikum. We start our lecture with the name of Allah who is most beneficent and merciful. As you know, we are discussing chapter number 2, which is structural organization of life, and we have discussed about cell theory, cell and cell organelles. So let's continue this topic. What is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the smallest unit of life, and cell, the outer membrane of cell in animal cell is called as cell membrane, and cell also consists of an important and prominent organelle which is called as nucleus. This is nucleus and this is cell membrane. In plant cell, the outermost membrane is cell wall, and in animal cell outermost membrane is cell membrane. So the cell which contain nucleus with nuclear membrane, the outermost boundary of nucleus is called as nuclear membrane. So you can say that nucleus is enclosed in a membrane which is called as nuclear membrane, and the cell which contain nuclear membrane around the nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. And the cell in which nuclear membrane is absent around the nucleus is called as prokaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell is the cell which do not have nuclear membrane around the nucleus, and eukaryotic cell is the cell which have nuclear membrane around the nucleus. Here nuclear membrane is present and here nuclear membrane is absent. It is prokaryotic cell and it is eukaryotic cell. And the organism which contain eukaryotic cell organisms are called as eukaryotes or eukaryotic organisms. The organisms which contain nuclear membrane, which contain eukaryotic cells, are called as eukaryotes or eukaryotic organisms. And the organisms which contain prokaryotic cell which do not have nuclear membrane around their nucleus are called as prokaryotes or prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic organisms. The organisms which have prokaryotic cells are called as prokaryotes or prokaryotic organisms. And eukaryotic cells are present in animal, in plant, in fungi, and prokaryotic cells are present in bacteria and cyanobacteria. Okay, it is present in bacteria and cyanobacteria. There is a difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Like, number one difference is nuclear membrane is absent in prokaryotic cell and nuclear membrane is present in prokaryotic cells. Okay, difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Number one difference is nuclear membrane is absent in prokaryotic cell and nuclear membrane is present in eukaryotic cell. Okay. Now second difference is, as nuclear membrane is absent in prokaryotic cell, so nucleoplasm is also absent in prokaryotic cell. And what is nucleoplasm? Here is a cell, this is cell membrane and this is nucleus, and inside the nucleus jelly like substance is present, and this jelly like substance is called as nucleoplasm. So when membrane is absent, so nucleoplasm is also absent in prokaryotic cell and nucleoplasm is present in eukaryotic cell. Nucleoplasm is absent and nucleoplasm is present in eukaryotic cell. Now third difference is that membrane bound organelles like mitochondria, Golgi bodies and endoplasmic reticulum are absent in prokaryotic cell. Membrane bound organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell, while membrane bound organelles are present in eukaryotic cell. Or membrane bound organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies and mitochondria. Membrane bound organelles are present in eukaryotic cell. Now fourth difference is that small size ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cell and they are scattered in free form. And here in eukaryotic cell, two types of ribosomes are present, free and bound ribosomes. Free ribosomes freely scattered in the cytoplasm and membrane and the bound ribosomes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. So ribosomes are of small size. Small size ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cell and only free form ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cells, while two type of ribosomes are present in eukaryotic cell, bound attached ribosomes and free ribosomes. And what are ribosomes? Ribosomes are granules which is present in the cytoplasm, and attached ribosomes are attached to the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum. And number 5 difference is that single chromosome is present in prokaryotic cell and proper chromosomes are present in eukaryotic cells, which is diploid in numbers. So proper chromosomes are present here in eukaryotic cell and only single chromosome is present in prokaryotic cell. This is the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, and in 5 year this question is present in 2012, 2016, 17 and 2018. You can check it in 5 year. The difference between prokaryotic cells are present in those years, and you have to memorize at least 5 difference of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. After the formation of cell start to grow, and when the cell reaches to its maximum size, then division start in the cell. So after when the cell is reached to the maximum size, then this cell start to divide. This cell which is present in the body and which is going to be divided, this cell is called as parent cell, and this parent cell divide into two cells, and the new forming cells are called as daughter cells. Okay, parent cell divide into two daughter cell. When the cell reaches to a maximum size, then the division start in the cell, and cell which is going to be divided, is called as parent cell, and new forming cells are called as daughter cells. Okay, now there are nucleus divide in the cell. This is nucleus. First of all, division of nucleus start and nucleus divides, and the division of nucleus is called as karyokinesis. After the division of nucleus is divided into two. After the division of nucleus, this cytoplasm divides and it forms two cells, and the division of cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. Okay, division of nucleus is called as karyokinesis, and division of cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. Okay, you know the nucleus is the main and important organelle which is present in the center of the cell, and between the cell membrane and the nucleus is present jelly-like and translucent material is present, which is called as cytoplasm. So division of cytoplasm is cytokinesis and division of nucleus is karyokinesis. Now there are two types of cell division. There are two types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis and meiosis are two types of cell division. In mitosis, parent cell divides into two daughter cells in a way that the number of chromosomes remain same in the daughter cell as in the parent cell. You know that chromatin network is present in the nucleus. A network is present which is called as chromatin network, and this chromatin network is made up of thread-like structures called chromosomes. This is chromosome, and this chromosome is made up of two thread-like structures, and these two thread-like structures are called as chromatids, and these two chromatids are joined at a point, and this point is called as centromere. The point at which two chromatids are joined is called as centromere, and two thread-like structures which are forming chromosomes are called as chromatids. Okay. Now each organism has a specific number of chromosomes. Like human being contain 46 number of chromosomes. So mitosis is the cell division in which parent cell divide into two daughter cell in a way that the number of chromosome remain same in the daughter cell as in the parent cell. Okay. Now meiosis is the type of cell division in which parent cell is divided into four daughter cell. Parent cell is divided into 4 daughter cell in a way that the number of chromosome in daughter cell remains half as parent cell. Here parent cell contain 46 number of chromosomes and daughter cell contain 23 number of chromosomes. Half number of chromosomes are present in daughter cell after the division of meiosis, and this parent cell contain double number of chromosome. That's why it is called as diploid number 2n, and daughter cell contain half number of chromosome. That's why it is called as haploid number n, only n. It is 2n diploid number and daughter cell called as haploid number n because it contains half number of chromosome than parent cell. Now mitosis occur when you are going to grow. It is responsible for the growth and development, and meiosis take place during reproduction. Okay. Now let's discuss first mitosis. As you know that mitosis is the type of cell division in which parent cell divide into 2 daughter cell in a way that the number of chromosome remains same in daughter cell as parent cell, and this mitosis is responsible for the growth and development of organism, and this mitosis takes place in 4 stages. As I told you that first of all nucleus will be divided and then cytoplasm will be divided, and the division of nucleus is called as karyokinesis and division of cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. So we are going to discuss about karyokinesis. Before going to start division, before going to divide the cell first go to the resting condition, and this stage is called as resting stage or resting phase. And this resting phase is also called as interphase. These all diagrams are about the stages of mitosis. This is interphase, when cell is in the resting condition, it is not growing and it is not dividing, and after interphase early prophase start, and here mitosis has 4 stages, and number 1 stage is prophase. Metaphase, anaphase and telophase. These all phases are of karyokinesis, means division of nucleus. Okay. In prophase, now cell is in the resting condition where growing is not be done and cell is not going to be divided, and when division start, first phase is prophase, and in prophase chromatin network become condenses. Chromatin network condenses. Okay, this is called as early prophase. When you can see chromatin network under the microscope, this phase is called as early prophase. And after early prophase, mid prophase takes place, and in mid prophase this is nucleus. Okay. And in mid prophase chromosomes become visible and 2 chromatids of the chromosomes and centromere also become visible. Okay. In early prophase only chromatin network condenses, and mid-prophase chromatids are going to be visible, and centromeres also visible, and then late prophase, in late prophase these chromosomes centrosome is present in the near the nucleus, and centrosome, you can see here, centrosome is present in the cell, and centrosome is divided into two centrioles. Centrosome divides into two centrioles, and these two centrioles move towards the opposite pole of the cell. Opposite pole of the cell पर चले जाते हैं, and nuclear membrane start to disappear. Nuclear membrane disappear हो जाएगी, centrosome divide into two centrioles, and these two centrioles move towards the opposite pole of the cell, one here and second is in the opposite pole. And now here are chromosomes, and these two centrioles form spindles, fibers, okay, and these spindle fibers are attached to the chromosome. This is prophase. Mitosis consists of 4 phases. Number 1 is prophase, and we are discussing prophase. And in early prophase, chromatin network visible. If the chromatin network condenses and visible, and then microsomes become visible, and then chromatids of microsomes become visible, and and chromatids visible, and centromere also become visible, and then centrosome divides into two centrioles, and each centriole moves towards the opposite pole, and nuclear membrane disappears, and these centrioles form spindle fibers, and these spindle fibers attach the chromosomes. Next stage is metaphase, and in metaphase these chromosomes arrange to the equator. All chromosomes arrange to the equator. This is cell, and all chromosomes arrange to the equator of the cells, and each chromosome is attached to separate spindle fiber, okay. This is metaphase, and in metaphase all chromosomes arrange to the equator of the cell, and these centrioles form spindles, and each chromosome is attached to the separate spindle fiber. And third stage is anaphase, and in anaphase these two chromatids which are joined by centromere. Centromere is divided in anaphase. These are two chromatids which are joined to a point, and this point is called as chromatids. And in anaphase, chromatid divides, and after the division of chromatids, these two centromere divides, in anaphase centromere divides, and after the division of centromere these two chromatids become separated, okay. Now the separated chromatids move towards the opposite pole of the cell, like one move towards one pole, and the other move towards the other pole. Now here anaphase is completed. Now each chromosome is divided into two chromatids, and one chromosome move one pole, and other chromosome move towards the opposite pole of the cell, and now the number of chromosome on both poles are same. Like if 23 chromosome is here, then 23 chromosome is also here present in the opposite pole, and if 46 chromosome is present here, then 46 chromosome is also present on the other pole of the cell. Now after the anaphase, telophase start. After the anaphase, telophase start. These are chromatids, these are also chromatids on opposite poles, and numbers are equal. Now in telophase, nuclear membrane reforms around the chromatids and two nucleus are formed inside the cell. These are two nucleus formed in telophase by the reforming of the nuclear membrane, and these two nucleus contain same number of chromosomes. Now karyokinesis is completed. After the completion of karyokinesis, cytokinesis starts, and nuclear and cell membrane moves inside the cell. This is cell membrane. It moves inside the cell. Again move, and in this way cytokinesis is completed and two cells are formed. One parent cell is divided into two daughter cells, and mitosis is completed here after the cytokinesis. So mitosis is the type of division in which one parent cell is divided into two daughter cells in the way that the number of chromosome remains same in daughter cell as in the parent cell. Now what is the significance of mitosis? Mitosis is important for the development and for the growth of the body, and it is also important for the healing of wounds, and it is also important for asexual reproduction and formation of new cells. Blood cells also formed by the mitosis. Now next division is meiosis. And meiosis, as I have told you that meiosis is the type of cell division in which parent cell divide into four daughter cell, and in a way that the number of chromosome in the daughter cell remain half, and double number of chromosomes are present in parent cell. And meiosis is important in reproduction process, and meiosis, the division of meiosis is completed into two type of division, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is the reduction division and meiosis 2 is the mitotic division. Okay, now let's move towards tissues. What are tissues? As I have told you that the group of cells which have similar structure and perform similar function is called as tissue, and the tissues which are present in plant are called as plant tissue, and the tissues which are present in animal are called as animal tissues. Now first of all we are going to discuss about plant tissue. Different type of plant tissue are present in plants. These all are plant tissues which is present in plants. Plant tissues are of two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, plant tissues are of two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. These are meristematic tissues, and this is the diagram of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue are smaller in size, and they have ability to divide. They can divide, they have ability to divide, they are smaller in size, and nucleus is present inside the cell of meristematic tissue, and because they have ability to divide, that's why they are present on the tip of the roots and apex of shoot. and due to the division of the meristematic tissue, the size of plant increases and plant growth take place. Now permanent tissues are made up of meristematic tissue, and but they don't have ability to divide. Permanent tissues are made up of meristematic tissues, but they don't have ability to divide, they can't divide, and they are tough cells and they provide support to the plant. So meristematic tissue are of two types, simple tissue and complex tissue. Simple tissue and complex tissue are type of permanent tissues. Simple tissues are type of permanent tissue which are made up of one type of cell. They contain only one type of cell, and complex tissue contain more than one type of cell. They have more than one type of cell. So simple tissues, according to the structure, there are three type of simple tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. These are the types of simple tissues on the basis of structure. Okay, on the basis of structure, simple tissues are divided into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. This is the diagram of parenchyma tissue. The cells of the parenchyma tissue are of large size, and intercellular spaces are present between the cell. These are the intercell. This is one cell and this is second cell, and between the gap, the space which is present between two cells are called as intercellular space. So the cell of the parenchyma tissue are of large size, and intercellular space are present between two cells, and nucleus is also present in parenchyma cells, and parenchyma cells are responsible to store food. Okay, they store food. What is the function of the parenchyma tissues? They store food, and they are present in the body of the plant, except they are not present in vascular bundle and in epidermis tissues. Otherwise they are present in whole structure of the plant. Okay, now second is collenchyma. This is the diagram of collenchyma tissue, and collenchyma tissue, the cell of the collenchyma tissues are of elongated size, and intercellular spaces are also present between two cells. Nucleus is also present, and here cellulose and pectin are deposited on the near the wall of the collenchyma cells. Okay, the cellulose and pectin is stored here. That's why they are hard cells, and they provide support to the plant and support to the body of plant. Next is sclerenchyma. This is the diagram of sclerenchyma tissue. They are elongated cell. Elongated cell, and wall of the sclerenchyma is thick. They have thick wall, and lignin is present inside the cell, and near the wall lignin is present, and due to the presence of the lignin, these cells are hard cell, and they also provide support to plant. Okay, and intercellular spaces are not present in sclerenchyma tissue. These are plant tissues, meristematic tissue. Plant tissue is divided into two types: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. And this is the diagram of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue are of a small size. They have nucleus, they have ability to divide, and they are present on the tip of the root and on the tip of apex of the shoot. Now next is permanent tissues, and permanent tissues are made up of meristematic tissues, but they don't have ability to divide, and they are hard cell and they are dead cell. So they provide support to the plant. And permanent tissues are of two types: simple tissue and complex tissue. Simple tissue contain only one type of cell, and complex tissue contain more than one type of cell. According to the structure, simple tissues are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma have intercellular spaces. between two cells, and they are responsible to store food. And collenchyma are elongated cells. They also have little bit intercellular spaces, and they are hard cells due to the presence of cellulose and pectin near the cell wall, and they provide support to the plant cell. And sclerenchyma also supporting tissues, and elongated cells are present, intercellular spaces are not present, and lignin is here present inside the cell near the wall, near the cell wall. That's why they are also tough cell, hard cell, and they also provide support to the plant tissue. And complex tissues are of two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are examples of complex tissue, and we will discuss further in about xylem and phloem tissues. Now, according to the function, permanent tissues are of four types. Permanent tissues according to the function. These are the this is the classification of simple tissues according to the structure, and this is the classification according to the function. And according to the function, permanent tissues are of four types. Number one is epidermal tissue. Epidermal tissue are of rectangular shape. These are rectangular cells, and nucleus is present in the cell. These are rectangular cell, and they are present on the outer layer of stem, root and leaves. Okay, they make the outer layer of cells of the stem, root and leaves, and they provide protection to the inner cells. जो inner cells हैं, they provide protection to the inner cells. And in stem and leaves, pores are present. In epidermal tissues, pores are present, and these pores are called as stomata. Okay, these pores are called as stomata, which are present in stem and leaves. And stomata is responsible for exchange of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. Exchange of gases takes place in leaves and in stem by stomata, which is present in the layer of the epidermal tissue. And epidermal tissues have rectangular type cells, and they are present on the outer layer of stem, root and leaves, and they provide protection to the inner parts of the plant, inner cells of the plant. Second is ground tissues. Ground tissues are made up of parenchyma tissues. Parenchyma tissues are also called as ground tissues because they have ability to store food, and they store food for plant parts, for the parts of the plant. So they are also called as ground tissues, and they have cells, larger size of cells, and internal cellular spaces are present between the cells. And third is supporting tissues. Supporting tissues are collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma and collenchyma are tough cells due to the deposition of cellulose and pectin, and due to the deposition of lignin, and they are hard cell. That's why they are providing the support to the plants and parts of plants. So they are also called as supporting tissues. Now fourth is conducting tissues. Or vascular tissues. Conducting or vascular tissues. Conducting tissues are xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem vessels are also called as conducting tissues or vascular tissues. They are responsible for the conduction in the plant body, and xylem is made up of sclerenchyma vessels. Sclerenchyma vessels and fibers. They are elongated cells. Xylem is elongated cells and it is consist of sclerenchyma vessels and phylum and fiber, and phloem is made up of sieve tubes. Xylem has thick walled cells and phloem consists of thin walled cells. Phloem vessels contain thin walled cell and xylem contain thick walled cell. And what is the function of xylem and phloem? Xylem is responsible to transport mineral and salt water from the root to the leaves, and phloem is responsible to transport prepared food from leaves to the root. So function is totally different. Xylem is responsible to transport water, mineral and salt from root to leaves, and phloem is responsible to transport prepared food which is prepared in leaves, and it is responsible to transport prepared food from leaves to the roots. Okay, and they are also called as conducting tissues and vascular tissues, and they are also called as complex tissues or compound tissues. And in roots, xylem and phloem are present in separate form. They are separated in roots, but in stem they are present in a unit form, and it is called as vascular bundle. In stem they are called as vascular bundle. Okay, this is all about plant tissues. Now let's move towards animal tissues. Animals also contain tissues, different type of tissues. Here are 4 type of animal tissue. Number 1 is epithelial. Epithelial tissue. This is the diagram of epithelial tissue. You can see that the cells are closely packed to each other. Intercellular spaces are not present between the cells, and nucleus is present inside the cell, and it is present in single layer. Only single layer. It is found in single layer in glands and in tubular organs. Tubular organs which have tube-like structure, they are called as tubular organs. So epithelial tissues are present in single layer in tubular organs and in glands. Glands are special tissues or special organs which secrete special secretions. Okay. Now next tissue is connective tissue. This is the diagram of connective tissue, and connective tissue is responsible to connect different tissues, different cells and different organs to each other. So it provides connection among organs, tissues and cell. Number 2 is connective tissue. It provides connection, and connective tissue are also soft and hard. 2 types of connective tissue are present, soft tissue and hard tissue. And the example of soft connective tissue is fatty acid. Fatty acid are soft connective tissue, and bones and cartilages are type of hard connective tissue. Bones and cartilages are type of hard connective tissue, and so fatty acid is the example of soft connective tissue. It provides connection, and blood is also a type of connective tissue. Blood is also a type of connective tissue, and it provides connection between different organ. It is responsible to transport different material from one part of the body to another part of the body. Okay, now third is muscular tissue. muscular tissue are present in our muscles. Okay, these are muscles, and muscular tissue is present in our muscles. Muscular tissue are present in our muscles, and muscular tissue are made up of cells which are called as muscle fiber. They are called as muscle fiber. Muscular tissues are made up of cells which are called as muscle fiber, and muscle fiber are elongated cells which have nucleus, and muscle fiber have the ability to contract and relax, and due to the contraction of relaxation of these muscle fiber, we can move and the movement of the body parts can occur. Now last is nervous tissue, and nervous tissues are present in nervous system. This is the diagram of nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is present in nervous system, and nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord and nerves. Brain, spinal cord and nerves comprises nervous system, and nervous tissue is present in nervous system, and nervous tissues are made up of cells called as neurons. And neurons have the ability to transmit messages in the form of electric signals. Okay, so they are responsible, neurons are responsible to send messages from body part to brain and from brain to body part in the form of electrical signals. These all are about animal tissues. And plant tissues, the question of plant tissues is present in 2011, 12, 14 and 15, and mitosis, question of mitosis is present in 2013, and animal tissues are present in 2011, 2016 and 2017. Now unicellular and multicellular organism, the organism which consists of only one cell is called as unicellular organism, and the organism which consists of more than one cell is called as multicellular organism. The example of unicellular organism is amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism which is present in the stagnant water, in pond and in pool, and it have irregular structure. Its shape is not permanent. Its shape can be changed. This is the structure of amoeba, and the outer finger-like projection is called as pseudopodia. It consists of finger-like projection which is called as pseudopodia, and these pseudopodia are responsible for the locomotion. Pseudopodia are responsible for locomotion of the organism, and it is also responsible to take food inside the cell. And two type of cytoplasm is present inside the amoeba. Outer cytoplasm is transparent and clear. This is outer cytoplasm which is transparent and clear is called as ectoplasm, and inner granular translucent cytoplasm is called as endoplasm. In the center of the cell, nucleus is present, and this nucleus controls all the function of the body, and food vacuoles are present in which food is stored here in the food vacuole. This is food vacuole. Beside food vacuole, contractile vacuoles are also present inside the cytoplasm, and contractile vacuoles are responsible to remove excess water from the body. Okay, it is responsible to remove excess water from the body, and Pseudopodia present, food vacuole present, contractile vacuole present, 2 type of cytoplasm is here present, ectoplasm and endoplasm, and gaseous exchange take place through the cell surface in the amoeba. So amoeba is the example of unicellular organism, and Brassica mustard plant is the example of multicellular organism, and the scientific name of mustard plant is Brassica campestris. Mustard plant is multicellular. It consists of more than one cell, and the scientific name of mustard plant is Brassica campestris, and it consists of root, stem, leaves and flower, and it consists of two parts, vegetative part and reproductive part. Vegetative part and reproductive part. Root, stem and leaves are vegetative parts because they are not involved in sexual reproduction. So the part of plant which are not involved in sexual reproduction are called as vegetative part, for example root, stem and leaves, and the part of plant which is involved in sexual reproduction is flower, and it is called as reproductive part of plant. So it's all about today's lecture. You have to complete your copy work by the content solution, page number 95 to 102, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101 and 102, and you have to draw diagram of, write down your diary. Your diary is draw diagram of phases of mitosis and animal and plant tissues. Okay, draw diagram of phases of mitosis and animal and plant tissues, and also memorize page number 17, 18, 19. Page number 17, 18, 19 of BCS notes. Memorize page number 17, 18, 19 of BCS page, and 83, 84, page number 83, 84 and 85, as well as memorize page number 89, 90 and 91. This is your diary. Diagram draw करें and memorize all these pages and complete your copy work by content solution, page number 95 to 102, and we will meet in next video with the discussion of frog and root and stem leaves of Brassica. Till Allah Hafiz.